Hey guys, how's it going? My name's Bailey, and today I'm going to talk about the process of making an animated commercial. There are no formulas to success when it comes to making art. The success of a project depends on a huge number of independent variables that make each endeavor unique. Art is also imprecise because it's founded on emotional qualities and subjectivity. As such, this makes art a risky business. But there's always the potential to inspire, which makes all of this wildly fun and exciting. So every animated commercial I make goes through a series of steps that work to eliminate unnecessary rework and help ensure the best chance of success. My work begins by starting a dialogue with the client. I always ask a lot of questions because clients come to me with a need, and sometimes they don't quite know how to describe what they want. It's up to me to get to know them, the challenges they face, and how I can best help them. But I'm not interested in the specifics of the project too much. I just need to understand who they are and where they're coming from. Are they open source thinkers, a global shoemaking company, or are they based on the Upper West Side? It's important to know who I'm working with so I can begin to accurately represent their character in the art. One could even call it essence. It's branding. I also ask a number of practical questions about timelines and general information about the project. After that first meeting, I go off and figure out about how much time I'll need to create something good and what it's going to cost. So I send them a proposal with the general outline of what I'm going to deliver. Once we agree to the preliminary specifics, I drop a contract and we work to get all the details right. You can watch my other video about contract basics, where I go over my top 5 important subjects that every contract needs. Now comes the good stuff. I spend time researching. After all, I need to really learn everything I can about this new project. I also begin writing the story for the commercial, and because my commercials are usually music-driven, I'm looking for music while I write the story. Each element influences the other, so I do them concurrently. Sometimes I'll hire a composer, but if we go the licensing route, I listen to literally thousands of relevant potential tracks. The music has to be right on. Once I feel that the story is working pretty well and I have the music picked out, I send them off to the client for any feedback. The second phase is where I figure out what the visuals are going to be. Now that we have a strong foundation in the story and in the music, the visuals come next. I concept ideas, figure out a few different style directions, and I also begin to outline the story in visual form, aka storyboards. I'll send the style options with my notes, and I'll also send the storyboard stills to the client for some feedback. I do this before I attempt the animatic, which is a moving storyboard, because I like to root out problems before I spend too much time laying in basic animations. Sometimes, depending on the project, I may send some test animations for the client to look at if I feel it's necessary. Next, I take the storyboards and develop a cut of the film with the music and any temp sounds or voiceover. This is where the rubber meets the road, and I begin to make the storyboards work as a moving picture. There's a lot of testing that happens during this phase. I will send this animatic to the client for feedback, and we'll usually go through a couple of revisions. This is always an exciting time for the client because they get to actually watch something for the first time. Even if the visuals aren't there at all, it's still pretty fun to see. Now that the story, music, storyboards, and visual direction have been established, it's time to start making the film in earnest. This is where most of my time is spent during the production of a commercial, because creating final art, animations, editing, and sounds are very labor intensive. This is why the preceding phases and feedback points are critical, because we don't want to have to make big changes this late in the project. It's expensive to do that because of how much time final art takes to create. Once everything is polished, I send it off to the client as a finished video. This may sound like a lot of work, and it is, but there are really 4 main feedback points and the final delivery. I update my clients along the way to keep them in the loop, and everything in between is just a lot of work that every good video goes through before it's finished. It's a very rewarding and exhilarating process. I totally love it. Anyway, I hope this has been useful, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!